Alright class, and welcome to the last video that will be shown here, and it is in regards to the XYZ homework account. The one thing that probably you should write down somewhere, write it down right now if you need to, but course ID number for this class is 23057. So what does this mean? The course ID is what allows you to enter into our class, so I can set up your gradebook, I can put everything together for you. Alright, so this is the website here, is a video for it, the last one here. So we cover the Canvas site, we cover the syllabus, and now on to this. So first things first, in your browser, go to xyzhomework.com. That's the site that we're going to work with. Alright, I know I'm speaking to two different population of students here, because some of you already know and know how to use XYZ homework, and some of you, this is going to be totally brand new anything for you. This is the first time you've seen it, first time using it. Alright, so two different crowds. The second crowd, if you need any further questions, please email me. Don't hesitate to email me, because this is the platform that we are going to be using to put in all the information that you need for it here. So first things first, let's get started. For students, as soon as you go onto the website, there's a little getting started for new students right here. You may want to open that up. Kind of gives you a little guideline. So first of all, your username is going to be an email address. So if you choose to use the West Hills College, your student email, that's fine too. If you choose to do a private email, that's okay too. For purposes here, it's not going to really matter here. And then the course ID number, so 23057 for you guys here. So what we do is we go to the xyzhomework.com site, register as a new student, enter whatever required fields are there, and we go from there. You do have a 15-day free trial with this, so you don't have to purchase it right away. In fact, probably don't. Give yourself about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, just to make sure you're going to stay in the class itself before you fork out any money for it. And then if you say I'm going to stay in the class, then you do have to fork out the money for a 12-month subscription to the site right over here. So just in case, hopefully you don't, but just in case you fail the class, you already have the access to it and you can retake the class really at no cost. So that's a good benefit there. Alright, and you can make the payment right in the account itself. Alright, so let me go back to how we register here. So you're going to log in as a new student right over here. Click on that. You're going to enter your first name, your last name, the email address that you're going to use as your login, and a passcode. Confirm it, click I agree, and register. So after this page, there's going to be two things that come up. It's going to say enter access code. It says access code. That's what allows you to be here for a whole year. You don't have to enter it if you're going to just use the 15-day free trial. It's going to say enter your course ID number. That's the one you want to enter as 23057. Alright, after that's all said and done, you click enter. It's going to bring you right back to this page here to log in. So let's log in. I'm going to log in as me. So I do have a instructor view of this, which I'm going to use. It says I log in, and as you log in, if this is the only course that you have, it's going to be listed like this. If there's more than one class that you had on XYZ, they're just going to be listed all the way down. So what you want to do here is you want to click on Spring 2020, M64 C04. That's the class that we want. Clicking on that takes you to the home page of our class. And from the instructor point of view, this is the way it looks to me. Let me show you just a couple of things on the instructor view. Actually, no, let me show you the student view first. So the student view looks like this. Notice there's nothing on the calendar. I think it's because technically the semester hasn't started yet. I think that's why. And so we are in March 22nd. Nope, sorry, we're February 22nd. I'm ahead of myself here. We're February 22nd, and I think all of this stuff will populate as soon as we hit the 24th. So as soon as you hit the 24th of May, that's officially when the class will start. The calendar is going to more look like this. That's what I want to show you. The calendar is going to look like this and saying, hey, those are the due dates that I need for my class. Let me go back one here. So the date, let's say we were here, right? This is Monday. You log in for the first time. This will be checked in. Notice underneath it there's nothing here. There's EBook, which we'll get to in just a bit. But notice you have a slew of stuff that's due on the 1st. So this is the end of Chapter 1. Very important. This little Chapter 0, that's all pre-algebra. If you want to go into it and sort of try it, just kind of check your skills on pre-algebra if you like, go for it, but it's not graded, and it's only just for you to sort of try. The one thing you do have to do is this little intro. It's called Intro to XYZ. And then you have to do all of Chapter 1. So yes, the Intro to XYZ you have to do, then all of Chapter 1 by the 5th of March. Alright, how do you get to it? So what you do is you click on the day that it's due, like this, and all of a sudden right underneath the calendar, all these links show up. Now yours are not going to have settings for the questions or grades or anything. You're just going to have a link right here to get you to what you need to start with. So let me show you this one here. This is what's due. It's for points. Click on this. It's going to be 7 questions just for you to try to enter into XYZ they want it. So number 1 talks about entering a decimal. Can you enter a decimal into this thing? Number 2, try to list positive numbers. So it's kind of like a listing, entering a list. The next one is entering square roots and fractions and exponents. There's your sort of 3. So just go through it. See if it gets stuck, then email me or go from there. You do have 5 attempts to get this all through. And once you're through, there's intervals, entering coordinates on a graph, and then eventually entering expressions. So just a quick intro to all of this. You will need it later on as well. So let me go back real quick here to what we have here. Alright, and then let's go to Chapter 1, because this is the first one that you're going to encounter anyway. So 1.1, first homework assignment, here we go. Just want to show you a few little things here. So it says simplify the following expressions. We have a negative 5y plus y. So what we do, let me enter it and let's see what happens. Let's say I enter 8y. I know that's a wrong answer, but let me enter it. So if I put an 8y, notice it says 8y over here. This is called a preview window. So whatever you entered here, it's going to show up here in math language in a sense, or the way it should look on a sheet of paper. Right. The other thing is afterwards it says syntax okay. When really what that means is the variable makes sense. You know, things make sense in this problem. Let me do this here. Let me take out, instead of the y, let me put an x into it and see what happens here. Notice right here, it says something's wrong here. Check your variables. You might be using an incorrect one. So it's just a quick way to sort of see at least somewhat the answer makes sense to the problem at hand. So that's what it is. Okay, another thing is, notice this little up arrow right here. So click on that. This takes you to something called a math quill. And this is kind of like an easy way to enter answers that you normally it's the way to enter it like it looks on a sheet of paper. Like if you write a fraction, fractions are usually top and bottom, right? So if we put in 2/3, that's what it looks like. You have these little arrows here to kind of move you up and down. So that's kind of a cool thing. It kind of just allows you to enter things as you normally see them. So if you put a exponent, let's say 5 to the exponent of 3, and so that shows you right there. Okay, I'm going to erase all that. Also, there's functions like the log function, ln function, absolute value function, and the e function. There's also trig functions, which we're not going to use. Those are not things we're going to use in this class. All right, a few things here. Let's see. You do have some help. You have a video help, which I guess let me show it to you in a different way here. Then you also have EBook, which I'll show you to in a different way as well. But you do have a certain thing right here. You do only have 5 attempts for each homework question to get it right, so that's not an infinite amount of time. You try it once, try it twice, and if you're still not sure what's happening, then you have kind of 2 different ways to deal with it. wait for my office hours, wait for our office hours, come in and ask me the question. Hey, Mr. Geov, problem number 3 is kind of weird. I'm not getting it. Can you help me with it? That's perfect. The other one is post this question to the forum. So as you click on it, there's a problem shows up underneath, and you can write over here, I don't understand, or I'm not sure why I'm getting this wrong. You submit it to a thread, and it kind of pops up into something like this. And then you'll see like there's 3 threads. There's new ones. So if you want to click onto it, then you can answer it. And I usually give a little bit of homework credit for people that are answering questions. Oh, let me get back to where I should be. There, so that's the form. This is, you present it to the forum, and hopefully you have other classmates that have done it and want to help you out in the process of it. Alright, let me enter it wrong real quickly here. So this is now, let me go like this. Okay, let me put in, that's definitely, let me enter it incorrectly first here. So if you submit it, and it's incorrect, you're going to have this little red outline that shows up for your answer. And it says, next question means I don't care. This one says you got it wrong, right? Don't click this, is try another similar question. Don't do this one because then you missed an attempt and you're actually trying a different problem. You don't want to do that. Alright, so once you enter it correctly and you submit and you get it right, then you get a green bars over here, green part, and a little check mark. The check mark says you got it right. Alright, so 2 things you have. You have a video, and the video, what that's going to do is going to take you to 1.1, which is kind of the section that you're working on. It may not necessarily be the problem that you're working on, so it's only connected to almost like close to what the video is. So here's that, and so look, there's 4 people that you can click on in order to help you with these. So Preston, let me click on him, and here's a person who's going to try to explain how do you do each of those 3 problems that are listed right here. If that helps, that's perfect. Okay, that's what's needed. All right, the ebook, you can click on that, but let me show you to a different way, the way I want to sort of see it here. So notice in the calendar, underneath the calendar is the ebook. There's a link to it. Let's click on that. And it's going to take you to this page. And here's your content. So if you want to look at anything in the textbook, there it is. All right, we're going to click on number 1. We're going to click on 1.1. All right, what does this show you? This shows you the reading assignment. So this is your ebook. If you want to read through the book itself, then go for it. There's some even additional problems if you want to just download some additional problems to try as well. That's cool too. But underneath each example, or next to each example, you got this little math video opener. And guess what? You have, hey, look at that, the same video that we had here. I think we had Preston on right here. So there's Preston again. And he's going to show you how to do each of these 3 problems. So it's matched up to each video sequence. So example number 2, the exact same thing happens here. If you don't understand it, click on the video. We go from there. There's also extra practice problems in case you want to work some more in doing this here. That's fine too. All right, if you want to go directly to the video right away, then you have this little piece on this side. All good to go. All right. So the textbook, it reads just like a regular textbook, reads all the way down. In fact, even has the whole homework set right over here too. So if you want to try some homework questions, and then here you can download all the odd problem answers to all the odd problem homework questions. There it is. All right, and one last piece is the mini lecture. The mini lecture is actually done by the author of the textbook, and he's going to do usually about 4 or 5 problems. And they're going to be almost like a quick intro to the whole section. There it is. Like, hey, here's me explaining problems. That will go through the whole entire section there. Anyways, hopefully that was good help. That was the ebook. It's right here in its totality. Click on the section that you need to use, and then go with it here. If you just want to read pieces of it here. All right, we're back to what we've been working on here. Okay, so then once students get in here, then I'm going to give a little video on the gradebook, how to read the gradebook, how to look at all that here. And so your view looks like, oh, you know, one more thing is the midterm exam, it's already in here, but it's going to be starting to be available on 3/30. So March 30th goes to April 1st or April Fool's Day. That's not a joke. You do have a midterm that's due April 1st. All right, the final exam, it's from 3 a.m. to 1 minute before midnight on May 21st. So as we get closer, I'll remind you of that as well. So hopefully you get to this page right here, and then hopefully the homework pieces will come up right here, and then we will go from there as soon as the class starts on Monday. All right, I wish you the best in the class and wish you success.